All right, what's going on, family? Welcome to Life Study. We've already gotten started, and we're getting into the four agreements, and we're gonna take our time with it. You're not gonna rush through the four agreements. I don't even want to start on the first agreement, but I do want to give everybody an opportunity to share in just a few minutes, just a couple of words. Um, how do I want to do? I want to say just how did you feel coming out of the four agreements? Just real briefly.
Listen, the notes that I took and the timing of us doing this is impeccable. I needed to not learn some of these things, but I needed to hear them when, like you said a minute ago, the first time you went through the four agreements, you was in a different headspace than where you are right now. Mm-hmm. I was in a different headspace when I went through it before. Things were going well. Mm-hmm. So going through it this time with a different mindset, needing the information, needing the I don't know, solidification, like in my mind, like, oh, okay, I do know what to do. I just have to figure out how to implement it for me. The timing was really good for me.
Yeah.
That's so funny that you say that, Chrissy, because honestly, like, I needed that in this time, literally in this week. Like, the reason that I didn't have any epiphanies is because I was trying to bring myself back to, a different space because something else happened to me this week. And I was just like, this is too much. Like, I can handle one Tuesday, but I can't handle two Tuesdays. Like, so like for me, when we reread it, it was like a reminder, like, okay, so, because in one of them, and when we get there, I like tell the story, but like in one of them, I saw that in someone else, how they weren't doing it. And then it helps me to reflect back on myself, like, wait, so like, if you can judge somebody else, you could judge yourself. So do you do it? And then I saw like it mirrored kind of in my life. And I was like, okay, I need to get back to this, this, and this. So it kind of like brought me back. Like it was like a great reset for me. And that definitely helps me like to be like, I know that I'm in the right place at the right time because I'm getting the things that I need at this time in my life. So I appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Absolutely love you too, Dayla. All righty. Who's next?
I'll give it a try. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. All right. So it has opened up a lot of perspectives, the book about the way I handle things and the people around me and understanding certain energies that people put out, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Because as far as I know, as far as I could try to believe, nobody starts off intending to be a hater. Nobody starts off intending to be jealous or, thinking about somebody else is doing better than them and they feel a negative way about it. It just comes to a self-reflection of, well, what am I doing if they're doing this? And then when they realize that they're not doing anything, that's where the apathy and the depression and the frustration comes in at, because it's like, I don't even know what I want to do. And I got this person who's been around me for X amount of years. I've seen them grow, and it's frustrating because I still feel like I'm in the same place where we started. Like a good reference to that, I'm an anime nerd, so of course, is like the rival between like Goku and Vegeta or Sasuke and Naruto, to where somebody would be powering on, doing what they think they normally supposed to do in life, thinking the other person like they ain't about to go nowhere, they gonna slack off and that and third. And they turn around and seeing that they way further than them. They're like, dang, well, what am I doing with my life? And they start inwardly beating themselves and start inwardly bullying themselves. So that turns into outwardly bullying the person around them. Like, oh, you ain't gonna be nothing, or that thing ain't made you no money. And it's like, you don't even believe in yourself, yet you're trying to doubt my belief. So it's just taking those energies in the right way and understanding that they're not ready yet. They're still in the place of in between and not knowing where to go. And what I do is gonna bother them because they don't see the vision that I see, It's not about the money. It's impact over income. You know what I'm saying? So she said it the best.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we heard Don Miguel talk about that. And he said, sometimes it's good to walk away from bad relationships, right? So sometimes you got to walk away.
Very true, but it's more so like distancing myself, more so of walking away, because I'm more busy on doing what I'm doing anyway when it comes to building my brand, finding out new ways to tight tune it. So I'm naturally just staying away from people, not intentionally. But when I get called, like, hey man, come on party with us. Hey, we ain't seen you in a minute. It's like that doesn't interest me. So yeah, it's been one of those moments to where they're starting to wake up. So I got some of my family members, they want to start like giveaways and light nonprofit situations to build their own different individual brands. They're starting to understand unity and seeing that apparently even if it's not monetary showing, I'm still making growth and doing social media and gaining traction versus them so focused on the money that they're trying to do little stopgap measures and wondering why they still don't feel fulfilled. Like the money is only going to help, but I'm fulfilled already because I have something that's mine.
Right.
Right. And until they get that, it's like they're there. They're starting to work on their own little brand. They're starting to lean out and ask for help, but they haven't reached that fulfillment phase. Like I'd be late to work over here messing with all the stuff on brand content. Like literally, I was like 5-10 minutes late because I was like, man, this AI stuff crazy. I was making artwork and everything. So yeah, I'm passionate about it and it's fun. It's not, so I guess it's a whole different experience they ain't ready for yet. But they'll get there eventually.
Absolutely. All right. Anybody else? I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. I just want to make sure before I started.
So much out the book. Like Bashari, we read it first. I do feel like I perceived it much differently hearing it as an audiobook as opposed to reading it. And I also believe it's because I'm in a different place in my life, but the black magic that really, really just still sticks out to me about our word, and I just really say about
We can't hear her.
Oh, they can't hear you. You might want to come closer to the mic. I'll cut the camera off for you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
A little bit better.
No. All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good morning. I was just simply saying how hearing the book and reading the book, it was a different experience. And also being that some time has passed since the first time I really delved in this book deeply, I am definitely in a different place than I am now. So I'm sure different things stuck out to me. And the most powerful, even when I first read it, that still really just comes at me strongly is the black magic about our words, how we speak not only on other people but on ourselves. And I think that it used to be this book that I used to have. I can't remember if it was just an exercise or a book, but it was a 7-day challenge to where you think nothing negative or speak anything negative, right? And for many years, I've tried to complete this challenge because it's not quite as easy as it sounds. And it took me back to that because that's pretty much what the black magic is getting in the habit of not speaking anything negative, getting in the habit of not saying anything negative, And it's not like the thoughts won't come up or the feelings won't come up, but like in that 7-day exercise that I was mentioning a few minutes ago, it says when a thought comes up, you hit it off real quick as if a hot flame just touched you. You don't spend any time allowing it to fester or meditating on it. And so I think a lot of times that has to do with our own beliefs. I believe it also has a lot to do with how successful we become, or the things that we accomplish. It's the things that we're telling ourselves more than anything. And I love when he also says how when someone says something about you, it doesn't mean anything until you accept it, until you agree with it, right? So understanding the power that we have in our own belief systems, just because someone says something or believes something, we can easily just brush that off and not make it mean nothing. Like, again, not taking anything personally. That's where that comes in at. Also, if we were able to really put up a shield to where I don't care what someone says about you, you can take them, you understand you have the power to accept it as truth, or to let it just blow on in the wind and not even affect you at all. But the moment you agree with what was said, you now attach to that. And I love how it says when you start getting clear of all of these beliefs that we've adopted to allow it to shape us into the person that we are, once we start slowly releasing them, how we become more powerful like a superhero. It's like it strengthens us. The more and more we release, the more and more we let go of, the more stronger we become in our own beliefs and our own power. So to me, that still just holds so much value and so much truth to me. And just being mindful of what I honestly believe I can do, believe who I am, and what I'm capable of, right? So to me, I got a lot out the book, but I think for me, that's probably the most powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that actually is leading right into uh where I want to go with this. I'm gonna cut the camera back on if you want to. If you want to you can be in the camera with me though. I'm pretty sure they'd rather see you than me. All right, y'all family. All right, um so I want to start at the beginning of the book, and it was crazy for me this week because you guys know this is kind of like my passion, studying life, esoteric knowledge, um learning how the universe works, learning what this place is my passion. So even so, once I got done with reading with the listening to the Four Agreements, I actually went to my old channels and I was listening to Minister Jew. He was for those of you who don't know who Minister Jew is, he's a esoteric teacher. He goes by the Imagination Guru. So that kind of gives you an idea, okay, of of what he does, right? He's the Imagination Guru. And the beginning of the book is really hit me uh when he talked about the dream. And when I went and listened to Minister Jew, he talked about it, but he talked about it from his perspective as well. And it's so lined up with what Don Miguel was saying about, in the beginning of the book, but he went into Minister Jew went into so much detail on it. And it just reminded me of what I believe, the value that I hold to it, and the practices I should be doing on a consistent basis. Because, like I say, we hear this information and we say, man, this is good information. But then there are others who hear this information and they say, this is life. And when I was listening to Minister Jew, I could tell that I lost a little bit of light here. I could tell that when he heard the information, for him, it was life. Like it wasn't just information. It was something that he's taken on for the rest of his life, something that he has adapted as his main belief system. And because he's adapted this as his main belief system, he's been able to manifest amazing things. He's been able to create amazing things. And as I go back and I remember the people in my life who use these things as their belief system, or they may just do the practices and don't even know the details of it. They just do the practices. I can see the difference in what people are manifesting in their lives and creating in their lives and the level that they're creating, simply because they do these things because they believe it works. And talking about the young man, who was learning this knowledge, and he felt that it wasn't enough, going back to the book. And the young man gets enlightened, and he understands that that this is a dream, and then understanding the fact that the brain is dreaming when we're asleep and when we're awake. Now here's the thing, is that we could say that, yeah, the brain dreams when it's asleep and when it's awake. But do we hold value to that statement? How important is that statement to you? The brain is dreaming when it's asleep and when it's awake. How important is that statement to you? And then understanding that when it's awake, it's more of a linear dream. When it's asleep, it's more of what? Like a multiverse dream. It changes, right? You're still having an experience, but the experience is unstable. It's all over the place, right? But then when you're awake, it's more linear. And understanding that everything is made up of light. Now, we say that everything is made up of light, right? But the question is, how important is that statement to you? That everything is made of light. That light is the source of all life. And that I am that light and you are that light. How important is that statement to you? And this is what I mean by we get information and then we may value it differently. Like, I was literally getting emotional attachments to these statements. Why? Because I've heard them so much over and 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 over again. And I believe these statements, but at the same time, I may have held on to other information as more valuable than this information. Like paying my bills on time and getting a job, right? Making sure that the money is there. We may hold on to some of those things more than we hold on to everything is light, right? And that matter are mirrors, right? And that everything is a mirror reflection of light. And Minister Jew, the imagination guru, goes into so much detail. I'm gonna give you guys this video. He goes into so much detail on this light and this dream and the mirrors. Like, he actually talks about all of this in his interview with Brother Rich. And I'm like, see, this is that frequency I need to be back on. This is my frequency. This is my birth frequency right here. And as I'm listening, I'm like, okay, I need to take this basic information a lot more serious than what I've been taking it. Because it's been good information, it's been good knowledge, right? But I need to take it a little bit more serious and make it a little bit more priority than what I've been making it. And that is what? Connecting to the light. connecting to the light and understanding the mirror. Why? Because Don Miguel's point was, in understanding this, you can now what? Create your own dream. You can create your own dream. He talks about the individual dream, then he talks about the collective dream, right? Of society's dream. You know, we have a dream of we have a political dream. We have a economic dream, right? We got the American dream, right? We have all of these what? Dreams that have been given to us from birth as a part of the what? Collective dream. The dream, the social dream, you know, the dream of society, the dream of our city, the dream of our state, the dream of our country, the dream of our planet. So when you go back into looking at the allegory in the Matrix, when Neo realized that what? Everybody's living in a dream. And then once he realizes that everyone is living in a dream, and he believes that everyone is living in a dream, he now can what? Bend the dream to his will. Not people. He's bending the dream to his will. And he's telling the dream no to the things that he doesn't want. He's telling the dream yes to the things that he does want. And this is our power as co-creators of the dream. Everything in this dream. This is what's important. Look at the establishment of this planet. Look at what we have, the government that we have, the businesses that we have, the skyscrapers and the cars and the automotive and the technology and all of these things that we have. Everything that we see came from a dream of a man. Everything that we're utilizing in our life every single day came from the dream of a man. Either he connected to the collective consciousness, well, that's pretty much what he did. Was he connected to the collective consciousness, and he found the need. He downloaded the information necessary, adapted that dream, and put everything that he had into it. And that's why we have everything that we have right now. It's because somebody dreamed. And then somebody created their own dream and decided to imprint their dream into the collective dream. And one of the main reasons why, and this is where Don Miguel was getting with the dream, one of the main reasons why it's so hard for us to imprint our own dream into the collective dream is because of the belief systems that we've taken on over time. And we tap into these belief systems, and then sometimes it's hard for us to identify our belief systems because there's so much information, there's so many distractions that we don't take the time to stop and say, okay, what is my belief system that's causing me to think this way? That's causing me to act this way? That's causing me to be habitual in this manner? What is my belief system? It's all buried down to my it all goes down to my programming. What's my programming? What software am I running off of right now? Because right now I'm running off of a software that's holding me back from imprinting my dream into the collective dream and making my dream big in the collective dream. Right now with technology, it's so easy to put your dream out, right? It's so easy to, but sometimes there's still a belief system, right, that's holding you back. And sometimes your belief system is that there's a negative belief system, or sometimes your blockage could be your belief in your blockage. Sometimes it's so simple, and this is what the four agreements is getting to. Sometimes it's so simple to rearrange your frequency simply by rearranging your beliefs, simply by rearranging your habits. When I was growing up as a Christian, everybody used to tell me how much favor I had with God, right? Oh man, you just got the favor of God upon you. And in that dream, which was a limited dream, I did. I did. I had a lot of favor, with what they call God in that dream, right? Because it was a dream. The dream of what? Christianity. That's a dream inside of the collective dream. That's just one dream inside of the collective dream. And in that dream, I did. But also in that dream, I was taught to say a prayer every single day. And that prayer was, I thank you for grace and favor with you and with man. I literally prayed that every single day as a child. That was a part of our prayer. I thank you for grace and favor with you and with man, with God and with man. And because I prayed that prayer and I believed that prayer every single day, and I was asking for that prayer because I needed it, right? Because I was tired of getting picked on as a kid, right? So because of that, I started growing in grace and favor with God and with man, to the point where all of my bullies became my friends. And it shows to this day. Like some of the people that I'm friends with today, some of them probably used to bully me in elementary and middle school. But because I asked for it, I received it. And some of the same people that used to pick on me were the same people who wouldn't allow other people to pick on me. Like, no, you can't mess with B. He cool. He cool. He a good guy. He's a true friend. You can't mess with B. And it literally came to that. And it grew so much to where I'm probably one of the only guys in Detroit who's never had beef with people in Detroit. Right. Especially coming up in my era, because that was a huge thing, but it was just something, but that was just a small part of the dream. So what I'm getting at is that we could do something simple as far as getting into the habit of asking. For grace and favor with the Creator and grace and favor with man. And then you can start asking for it on a large scale. And then using the power of this information, because we're going to get into the other agreements, is that this right here really hit me so hard, because I've heard this information before. I believe this information, but I didn't make it important. I didn't make it as valuable as what it is. And understanding that this whole makeup of everything that exists is made up of light. And that's what Neo discovered. When you look at the Matrix and the trilogy, that's what Neo discovered towards the end of the movie, in the third Matrix, when he was blinded, when he was blinded by Agent Smith in the real world, and he went to the machine world that creates the dream, right? The machine world that creates the dream, and he saw that everything was made of light. He saw everything was light. And because of his new belief system, the powers that he had in the Matrix, in the dream world, carried over into the real world. And it carried over so strong that he got grace and favor with the machines. Go back and watch it. He found grace and favor with the machines, but his belief system was turned so strong in the dream world that when he got to the real world, it kind of shows that both are dreams. They're just dreams. Like, really understanding this is a dream made up of light. And I'm gonna end it with this. Then we're gonna go to get into some takeaways. This is a dream world made up of light. Light slows down to create matter. Electrons, protons, neutrons, light particles slow down to make matter, right? Atoms. The atoms are mirrors. Matter is mirrors, right? Projecting your belief system back to you. The question I'm going to keep asking, how important is this information to you? Matter is mirrors reflecting your belief system, your thoughts, your emotions, back your actions back to you. Once we understand this, now we become more intentional, right? I remember my wife talking about the magic, the dark magic, and and the white magic, and how some of her Christian friends were a little afraid when she said the word magic. Magic is nothing but intent. It's just that now you're conscious. So magic is nothing but conscious intent, knowing that matter are mirrors, and now you're intentionally creating your own reflection by what you think, by what you speak, by what you do for others and to others, how you speak to yourself, how you speak to others. What you do for yourself, what you do for other people. So now you become more intentional to know, because what did we learn with the split particle experiment, right? Let's put all this stuff together. What did we learn with the split particle experiment? That these light particles, the God particle, is nothing but a light particle waiting for you to observe. And when you observe, the light particle shows up based upon your desire to observe. So the split particle experiment tells us that this is a dream made up of light that's waiting for you to be intentional with it so they can slow down and become matter, which is nothing but a mirror, which is only going to give you back not necessarily what you desire, but it's going to give you back who you are. That's what the law of attraction is. It's going to mirror back to you who you are. It's going to mirror back to you your belief systems. It's going to mirror back to you what's important to you. So now it's time for us to slow down, like the light particles do. We're going to slow down, figure out what our belief systems are, what these limiting belief systems are, what these limiting agreements that we've taken in. Because somebody told us something and we agreed to it. Or we had a thought and we told ourselves something and we agreed to it. And we said, yep, that's true, or this is what, or sometimes we might even believe it's true, but we hold so much emotional attachment to it, it becomes who we are. Because we hold so much emotional attachment to it. All right, so I'm gonna leave that there. Who would have thought that the 4 agreements would give us so much information before we even get to the agreements, right? And then Don Miguel gives us a blueprint after talking about the dream. He gives us a blueprint of what? 4 agreements of how to transfer all of this information and transform ourselves and create a new dream for ourselves. I'm going to leave it there. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for takeaways. I seen somebody already unmuted themselves.
So my takeaway is homework. My homework is going to be mirror meditation. And it's definitely going to be some Googling involved, but my understanding of what I am going to do is I have a dry erase marker. I will be writing some affirmations on my dry erase marker. I have a full body mirror at the end of my hallway. I will be sitting in front of my full body mirror. I will be putting on a happy face and I will be reading these affirmations. And that's what I'm gonna do when I wake up and before I go to bed the rest of this week. And then if I have some time, if I'm having negative thoughts, I'll be taking 5 minutes to go ahead and go do that too. But that's my takeaway is homework. That's the homework that I'm gonna work on this week.
That's awesome. I love it. That's awesome. All right, anybody else?
Yes, I just love. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I just love how in sync we are. Like, oh my gosh, my heart is so full sometimes not sometimes, all the time, but my heart is so full, like when I get on these calls and we have these conversations and people say things like my homework is, and then the things that I need to do in my life. So I'm just so grateful for y'all. But like my takeaway is the same thing is you gave us the affirmation about grace. And this is something that you've experienced in your life, for a really long time before you even met us. And when I look back and thinking about what Kiana was talking about as well, just how powerful your words are. And again, it's just reminders of when I think about the past, like I can still change those stories or I can make it better for today and continuously learn no matter what. No matter what the situation, no matter what the environment, because like you said, you can change the environment. So it was just a lot, and I'm so grateful. And yes, I'm definitely gonna be getting back to my affirmations this week for sure.
Absolutely.
What next?
Cut the camera off for you so they can hear you.
I've been in and out, y'all. I'm sorry. I got these kids I'm chasing after.
It's all good, Manny. All good. We understand.
So mine's is gonna be that 7-day challenge. My homework is being mindful of every negative thought, every negative word, and to go 7 days without doing so, saying anything or thinking anything negative. So yeah, we'll see. We're gonna have to see how this week go.
All right. Anybody else?
Well, my homework, basically what I've been trying to do is just try to focus on looking at the glass half full, staying to a positive mindset, regardless of challenges and strife that come around, and understanding that I'm moving toward a greater goal. So yeah, that's my homework.
Absolutely.
Positivity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, just to give you guys a glimpse of my homework for this week is to go into greater meditations to totally connect with this light. There was some tools that the gentleman, I'm gonna send you guys the video. I'm gonna put it, matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in there now while I'm talking about it. But there were some practices that Minister Jew talked about as far as giving yourself spiritual protection. And really connecting to this light that makes up the universe. And a lot of it does have to do with the imagination, because the imagination is your connection to this light world. Where's the share button? Your imagination is the connection to this light world. And that's why he's called the imagination gurus, because when you go into that dark space of meditation and you close your eyes, he talks about this a little bit, because somebody asks, is it more beneficial to pray with your eyes closed or with your eyes open? And he talked about the power of praying with your eyes closed, because you go into a dark space, you go into a place where there is no light. And the minute that you start imagining, you're literally creating light in a dark space when you start to create images from a dark space. You're starting to create light, because the only way that we can even see in this realm or this reality and this dream is that we need light, right? To give us, so that we can see. If we cut all the lights off, we would literally be in this same. Think about it. If there was no sun, if there was no light, but yet we all still existed, we will be having the same experience, not seeing none of it, right? Bumping into each other, like trying to figure things out. But when you go into a dark space inside of your mind and then you start to see imagery, you're doing the same thing. You're creating light, because you can't see the imagery in your imagination, in your mind, without the light. So now you're going into the God factor. That's why when you talk about Neville Guarded and some of those other great teachers, and they say that the imagination is God. And that's mainly because whenever you're using the imagination, you're doing what? You're bringing light out of darkness. So now you go into your God power. So this is what I'm going to be doing this week, is really connecting into this light, connecting into this God power. And really, really strongly utilizing the imagination, really strongly utilizing my intent, strongly utilizing these mirrors, and being real intentional on the dream that I want to create. Because one thing that I believe is that once you tap in, everything that you want to manifest will happen very fast. And you can actually, supersede this linear time system that we have, and that you can speed up the people, places, and circumstances in your life that you need to propel you forward to your greatest dreams, your greatest desires, and the things that you want to achieve in life. All you have to do is tap into that frequency at the highest volume that you could possibly get. And then not only will your actions change, the people will show up that you need, because the people are ready. The universe have the people ready. The people are actually ready for you. They're waiting for you to help you and to take you to your next level, because we need each other to go to our next level. We can't live this thing called life alone. We need each other, and we need other people to help us do it. So that'll be my assignment. That'll be some of the things I'm going to be doing this week, probably for the rest of my life. And we're going to stop recording. For those of you who are watching this wherever I post this, make sure that you remember to like and subscribe. And peace and love for all of you in the world of the internet.